Welcome to Sip Wisely, where we celebrate bourbon in all of its forms, from the legends you love to the emerging gems, including Missouri whiskey. I'm Jonathon Lee, your guide on this flavorful journey. Together, we'll dive into the stories, craftsmanship, and flavors that make every pour something special. So, pour a glass, settle in, and let's sip wisely. Welcome back into another episode of the Sip Wisely podcast. Just a reminder, I am your host, Jonathon Lee, and today's pour is something truly special. This is episode 12, or the second episode of season 2, and we're continuing our conversation with Mark Sutherland of Stone Ledge Distillery. It's based in Defiance, Missouri, so it's close for those of you listening in St. Louis. If you haven't yet, hit pause and go listen to episode 11. That episode, we explored the story behind Stone Ledge, the vision, the process, and the passion that drives every drop. Today, though, we turn that story into flavor. We're tasting through the newly released June 2025 Stowloch Single Barrel. And folks, this one is big. This is Stone Ledge's oldest flagship reserve expression to date. A 10-year-old bourbon that brings complexity, depth, and a richness that only time can deliver. Mark and I break down the nose, the palate, and what makes this release such a milestone for the distillery. And if you have a bottle, I invite you to pour a glass and sip along with us. As always, don't forget to follow the podcast, share this episode with a fellow bourbon lover, and tag us in your tasting moments. A great idea would be to share this episode with your peers while they're with you, and you're sharing your single barrel that you have, and you guys can experience this together. Share those moments with us at Sip Wisely, and this show is proudly brought to you by the St. Charles Bourbon Society. All right, let's go ahead and get into this wonderful single barrel. All right, welcome to episode 2 of season 2. This is our tasting episode, so hopefully you have listened to episode 1, where we sat down in the cigar room at Stone Ledge Distillery with Mark Sutherland, and now we get to taste their Stowloch Reserve 10-year whiskey. Did I get it all right?
Absolutely. This is the exciting part.
Yes.
I'm not going to ramble anymore. We're actually going to consume some deliciousness.
Well, yes, we are going to consume some deliciousness, but I'm still going to make you ramble a little bit because we want to learn more. The whole point of the episode is to drink and learn while we do it. So one of our missions for the St. Charles Bourbon Society is education. That's my background, and so I do encourage a little bit of education going through this. So who knows what questions may come up. But all right, so remind everybody what's in front of us. Hopefully they listened to and they remembered everything from the first episode. But what's in front of our in our glass here, and what should be in their glass?
So this is our brand new single barrel reserve. So we'll probably do a single barrel every 4 to 6 months. Okay. So this is the one that came out at the end of June. And this one is actually the first time that our single barrel is the same as our flagship. So this one is, and our flagship, 55% sweet corn, 40% honey wheats, and 5% malted barley, all heirloom seed grains grown in Missouri. It starts with all-natural limestone filtered water from the Ozark Highlands. It undergoes extra long fermentation, so 48-day minimum closed container fermentation, kind of more of a lagering process, which really impacts how smooth your end product is, along with the quality of the ingredients. And then it is distilled and then aged in Missouri white oak barrels that are both charred and toasted. And then this one, like you said, is a 10-year. So it's the oldest flagship that we have released, and it's different from our flagship. Our flagship is more of it's a batched process, not a blended process, which are different. So a blended process is when you take a barrel of 100% rye and 100% this and 100% that, and you kind of blend it to create something delicious. All our barrels for our flagship go in with the same mash, and they're all aged the same amount of time. They all go into a mixing tank, and then we pull out. We usually put 3 or 4 barrels in a mixing tank at once. Pull out a barrel, put another barrel in. Pull out a barrel, put another barrel in. You get that consistency of flavor and profile. Single barrel, it's 1 barrel at a time. Mm-hmm. So I sit down with our contracted distiller, Demetrius Kane, and we pick the barrels, which is a terrible process. It's very hard to do this. It just somebody has to do it though. I sacrifice myself for the rest of mankind to taste all this delicious whiskey.
Somewhere there's somebody playing a violin for you. I think.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sure. So this one was the one we picked more recently, and it is quite yummy.
Let's give it a try. So we have a big rock in ours.
Yes.
Which is how I would typically drink my bourbon. For those who may be drinking neat, what kind of differences might they be tasting?
A rock's going to release the flavor a little bit more, a little bit more airy to it because of that. If you drink it just neat, which is really good, neat, it's going to be a little bit more fuller in flavor. So our single barrels are all right around 118, 120 proof on the ones that come out. So it's got a kick to it, but because of that extra long fermentation and also non-chill filtration at the end, we leave all the fatty acids in there. That's what non-chill does.
Okay.
So you get a very smooth, very good mouthfeel on it. Some of the big guys, they do that chill filtration. It strips out the fatty acids, makes it a little bit more rough. They do that because they don't like those clouds floating around in it. But if I see a whiskey with a cloud floating around it, I'm buying that whiskey because that means it's a good whiskey. But yes, what do you think of the single barrel?
I think it's delicious. It is very smooth. Good flavoring on the middle and the back of the tongue. Getting a little bit of. I'm getting better at determining what flavors I'm tasting. I think I was sheltered as a kid. People say they taste nutmeg. I'm like, I've never had nutmeg before. Floral notes. I don't eat flowers. But no, I get a little bit of almost like caramel feel.
Yep.
On the back. That's about all I got right now. But
you're getting some honey off the honey wheat.
Yeah.
A little bit of sweetness there. Mm-hmm. A little bit of spice on top of the tongue.
Yes.
You don't get the burn, even though it's barrel proof.
I was going to say that.
It doesn't hurt. You get a little bit of heat in the chest, but not a huge amount, which is, that's a testament to the quality of the process that Demetrius uses when he makes our whiskey for us.
I thought that was lunch, but yeah. That was good.
But yeah, just a very good sipper. Pairs really well with a cigar. Probably, that one would pair well with a Connecticut wrapper. So kind of the medium.
Okay.
And that's another fun thing. I don't know if you ever tried pairing cigars and whiskeys.
I have not, because we typically am a Maduro fan, but I need to get, maybe we should do one of those.
It's interesting because you get one cigar. So let's say you're going to pick a Maduro.
Yeah.
And then pick 3 or 4 whiskeys. And it's going to do different things. You're going to have the cigar impact how the whiskey interacts with your palate, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You can. We actually paired our flagship with 3 different cigars when we first launched, and one of them was perfectly balanced. One of them, the whiskey added sweet to the cigar, and one of them, the cigar added spice to the whiskey. And it was just very interesting how the whiskey changed depending on what cigar we were doing. It was the same whiskey.
Yeah.
And it just impacted the flavor. So it's fun. It's a fun little experiment.
And I can see that totally working because of the amount of flavor that are in cigars. Obviously, smoking it through your mouth, and that's that flavor still in your mouth, and now all of a sudden you're adding your whiskey to it. I can definitely see how that would affect things, but I would not have thought of it that way.
Right.
Yeah,
it's the same like wine and cheese kind of deal. Whiskey and cigars, real men. I do like wine and cheese.
I've also had chocolate and whiskey pairings too. I mean, I've heard that.
Yeah, dark chocolate is phenomenal with various whiskeys. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do to really enhance your whiskey experience. Although I think my favorite is just slowing down, sitting around with friends, enjoying a good whiskey, enjoying a good cigar, and just catching up.
Absolutely.
Slowing down in life and really spending time on what matters the most, which is relationships.
Yeah. Well, so I will tell you, if you're listening to this on the 15th of July or anywhere after the 15th of July, go to your calendar and look at the second Thursday of August, which I don't know what that date is off the top of my head. I do know our next bottle share is July 10th, but this is obviously going to be released after that. We will have to procure a bottle of this, if you have not already done that yourself, and we will have cigars, and we will just definitely have some relaxing chat around this amazing whiskey and a beautiful cigar.
That sounds like an incredible evening.
So if you make it out north to Newtown at the Commons, we would love to have you. But
I'd love to do that.
Yeah. So as we round out this little tasting episode with this phenomenal glass, what is anything else you want to share with the audience about your distillery, your product, your process, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is, and it's not just us. There is phenomenal whiskey coming out of Missouri, and there's incredible people who are behind it. We got friends at Sugar Creek Winery that are making some brandified or some whiskeyfied brandy. That's how I describe it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a whiskey, but it's a brandy.
Okay.
We've got Good News in Defiance that's starting to come out with some whiskey. There is Lohman, so Blacksmith.
Yep.
Blackshire and Polly's and Herman Farm and Fenwa and Herman, Missouri. There's all these great, and I'm just scraping the surface.
Yeah.
There's more than 50 distilleries in Missouri these days. So I think the biggest thing to remember is, there's phenomenal whiskeys everywhere. Try them.
Yeah.
Support these gentlemen and ladies who are devoting their life to a really, really cool industry here in the state that deserves a lot more attention than it's gotten in the past. But then, come enjoy our whiskey as well. We try and make this a very welcoming environment here at Stone Ledge. We're open Thursday and Friday evenings, Saturday all day, so noon to late, Sunday noon to 7, sometimes late. We try and just kind of, you arrive as strangers, you leave as friends. Yeah. That's kind of the environment we're trying to create here at Stone Ledge.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, when you guys had us out for the bottle share, it was very cool. There was only 5 or 6 of us here, but it still felt very intimate and fun. And usually they're 6:30 to 8:30. I think we were probably here till 10 and 15.
Oh, yeah, that happens very easily here. Very easily. No,
it was great. So, yeah, so if you're out in this area, even if you're not out in this area, come out to this area and check out his space here at Stone Ledge in Defiance. It's a great space, cigar room, each right next door that you can bring in. They got security here.
Absolutely.
As well.
Live music every Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So we have a
patio.
Huge outdoor patio where we've got live music. And then every Saturday afternoon, local bands. And then occasionally on the evenings, Saturday evenings, we might have music inside or karaoke inside if that's your style. But yeah, it's a fun time. We look forward to welcoming people here.
That's awesome. Well, Mark, I want to thank you for your time, your hospitality, and all the information
you are always
us.
Welcome.
And so appreciate that. I don't know because I don't run a distillery, but I can only imagine the amount of time it takes to do all of that. So to sit down with us and share with our audience is greatly appreciated.
It's my pleasure.
Well, all right, folks. So you heard it. They are available around St. Louis and beyond. Check them out. Pick up their whiskeys. It's phenomenal, smooth drinking. If you need a cigar, grab one of those too and try it out too. Raise that glass. Connect with us on social media. Let us know what you think. And hope to see you at a future event down the road.
Sounds good.
What a way to kick off the tasting side of Season 2. A 10-year-old pour that truly earns its age. As Mark Sutherland put it during our conversation, There's this layered character to it. Vanilla and caramel first, then that aged oak and a little tobacco note. Now, I can't say I honestly tasted all of that, but man, after he said it, yeah, maybe a little influence there. I mean, it was amazing. I'm still working on my taste buds. I know, but hopefully you get some of that when you taste yours. This Stowloch Single Barrel doesn't just taste aged, it feels intentional. And you heard that in the process in the first episode, episode 11. If you have not listened to it, you still have time to go back. Mark kind of mentioned it's patient. Like, it knows how long it waited. Now, that's pretty crazy to think about, right? But he goes on to say, and it wants you to take your time too. And we took our time with this pour. It was phenomenal. That's exactly what we love here at Sip Wisely. Whiskey with character, stories with depth, and distillers who put purpose in every pour. And that is very obvious from what we heard from Mark. If you're sipping along with us or planning to, I hope this tasting gave you something new to appreciate. And if you haven't picked up a bottle yet, you're going to want to experience what 10 years can do when it's done right. As remember, Mark said, 10 years gives you that depth without harshness. It tells a full story, start to finish. As always, be sure to follow the podcast, share this episode with a fellow bourbon lover, and tag us on social when you raise your glass. You'll find us at Sip Wisely on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and we're proudly supported by the St. Charles Bourbon Society. More stories, more tastings, and more moments like this are ahead. Until next time, sip slow, sip smart, and of course, sip wisely. Thank you for tuning in to the Sip Wisely podcast. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to get the latest episodes. Don't forget to visit our website at stcharlesbourbonsociety.com for the show notes. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share them on social media. Follow us on all platforms by searching for St. Charles Bourbon Society. Our goal is to equip you with the knowledge to sip wisely. Cheers.